So welcome to our next video lesson. So that is on engineering mechanics subject, and today's topic moment of inertia. That is in continuation to the previous class. That is in what is we have learned in the previous class how to calculate the moment of inertia of a I sections. Okay, so symmetrical I sections, unsymmetrical I sections, as well as a T section. Okay, so we have learned all these things how to calculate the moment of inertia for these sections. Now let us class in this class. So on completion of this period, you will be able to calculate the moment of inertia with channel section. Means C section, we can call it as a C section. Okay, in the shape of C channel. Generally, it is called as a channel sections. Right. So this is generally channel sections are. So it will be unsymmetrical about the both axes. Okay. So it is. Let us make it full screen. Yeah. So generally, channels are unsymmetrical about the both axes. Okay, so until and it depends on orientation, of course. Once again, so generally it is in general, if it is in the form of C, generally that will be unsymmetrical about the I'm very sorry to say that it will be symmetrical about x-axis some cases, or some cases it is unsymmetrical about both axes, but generally it is always unsymmetrical about the y-axis. Okay, that is case. And second case in general means if it is depend, that is again depends on its orientation again. Okay, how you place the channel, so that depends on that one. It is, but in general, if it is in the shape of C, generally that will be, that can be symmetric about x-axis or maybe unsymmetric about the x-axis, but always unsymmetric about the y-axis in general. Okay, that will be normal orientation like this. Okay, for this orientation of this one, so this is about y-axis because it is a right side web is there, here flange, this flange is there. So about this one, so it will be always, if this is of this orientation, like this orientation, always unsymmetrical about the y-axis. Okay, so means what is I am repeatedly I am saying it orientation. What is other orientation it can be? So instead of it can be like C, like this, you can place the same channel like this also is right, and the same channel you can place like this also. Depends on requirement. Okay, some cases you may require to provide channel like this, some cases it is like this, some cases it is like this. Of course, the same cases either this one, or in some cases it may be like this. Both are one and same, it will be symmetrical about the y-axis. But in this case, if you take this one, it will be symmetrical about y-axis and unsymmetrical about the x-axis. Similarly, this one. Okay, like this, some depends on orientation in general, but general orientation is this one. For this type of orientation, it will be unsymmetrical about the y-axis and symmetrical about, maybe symmetrical because if the both flanges are equal width, then it will be symmetrical about the x-axis. If at all one flange is lesser and another flange is having different dimensions, then there can be, it can be unsymmetrical about the x-axis also. Okay, that's a possibility, general possibility. So like that. So what ultimately what I want to say is that, so it is nothing but a channel section can be symmetrical about x-axis, can be symmetrical about x-axis, and it can be unsymmetrical also, right? So it is both possibilities are there, right? So ultimately we can say, what we can say, the channel section can be symmetrical about any one axis is possible, about x-axis is possible. Okay, and unsymmetrical about always y-axis of this orientation. Okay, or it can be another possibility that it can be unsymmetrical about the both axes. That is also one possibility there. It depends on one size. Let us say one channel, one flange is like this, and another one is like this much length. Okay, this is flange sizes are different, right? So in this case, it is if you this is x, this area is more this side, this area is that. So this is unsymmetrical about the, even for the x-axis also, right? Always, of course, y-axis always it is unsymmetrical for this orientation, right? So like this, different possibilities are there for the channel sections. Okay, So symmetric means it is we cannot generalize it. Okay, so symmetry we cannot generalize it like what we do in the case of I sections and T sections. That's not possible. In case of I section and T sections, so that it is in generally it is normal I section shape. It is always symmetrical about the y axis. Okay, so x axis for T sections it is unsymmetric about the x axis, whereas I section may be symmetric, may be unsymmetric, depends on its flange dimensions. That possibility is there in the case of I sections. But in the case of channel section, that is also that may be symmetric about the x axis or maybe unsymmetric about the x axis. Both possibilities are there. But always of this orientation, always it is unsymmetric about the y axis. Right. So these are the different possibilities the channel section may have about the symmetric related to symmetry. Now let us go to the actual problem. Okay, so this is what we did. Determine the moment of inertia of the channel section shown in the figure about centroidal x-axis and y-axis. So for this given dimension, of course, this channel section is a symmetric because it is 100. This is 100, so it is 20, and this one also 20. Of course, this dimension is not given, but it is a 20 only because it is a symmetric section. So both are same. So let us see. It is right. So it is both are same. So it is nothing but it is the same dimension. So obviously it will be symmetric about the x-axis, right? So when this is symmetric about the x-axis, what about y bar? Very simple. Y bar is equal to total depth by 2. That is equal to what is the total depth? 180. It is given here. So 180 by 2. That's why it is 90. Centroid calculation. Stars moment of inertia problems always related to first two parts. One is centroid calculation. Section moment of next moment of inertia calculation. Centroid calculation is first. You have to whatever the problem is given directly first. You whatever the section, you have to calculate the centroids. Okay, either directly or you maybe need to use the formulas to calculate the centroids. Some cases, if it is symmetric about both axes, you can directly say that what is the centroids. Centroidal distance directly known to you. But if it is unsymmetric is there, then you need to calculate the centroids using some whatever the way we are learned previously. Okay, like that you have to calculate the centroids. That is first step. Next comes the moment of inertia. Okay, this consists of two problems. One is centroid calculation, moment of inertia. Like this one also, this is a symmetric about x-axis, right? As this problem is symmetric, this channel section is symmetric about x-axis. So what about y bar? Y bar is nothing but total depth by 2. Okay, because if you cut into this part, whatever this part having same area, same size, same shape, everything is same on both sides of this about this axis, right? So that is nothing but axis of symmetry, right? So that is nothing but where we are cutting it's the exactly equal half size. Half size is nothing but that's why we are using 180 by 2. Why you are taking 180 by 2 means it is if you cut exactly the middle, then only it will be symmetric. Exactly a middle means at half a depth, half a dimension. That is nothing but 180 by 2, right? In this case, 180 by 2, 90. That's what this problem, right? Now comes to this is out about a y bar. Directly you can say it. But what about x bar? But x bar we need to calculate because it is unsymmetric about the y axis. So x bar we have to calculate. So how to calculate the x bar? So use the again divide the figure into three parts. Okay, flange, and this wave, and after dividing it, so calculate the x bar using the formula x bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x3 plus a3 a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Use that formula, calculate the moment of inertia. The same formula that we have already discussed, right? So what about that one? So y bar x bar is equal to, so what is the a1? Now by itself I will write the a, what is a x1 x2 a1, of course. Okay, x1 is a1 is equal to how much? 100 into 20. This is also 20. Okay, this is not given but it is also 20. Being symmetric, this is 20 means this is also 20, this 100 means this is also 100. No issue, right? So when this and this 20 is there, what about this one? Total is 180. 180 minus 20 minus 20, it is nothing but 140. So this your this is nothing but 140. This depth is nothing but 140. So a1 is equal to how much? 100 into 20, 2000 mm square. Similarly, a3 equal to 2000 mm square. Whereas a2 is equal to how much? 20 into 140, 40 into 20, 2800 mm square, millimeter square. That's the area a1, a2, a3. Now comes to x1. X1, what is the reference axis? AB is the reference axis. That's what it is saying. So AB is the reference axis. Okay. So generally, moment of inertia are always in standard sections also. These are the rolled steel sections we call it as. We use these sections. Standard sections are there. That are the dimensions. Everything is available in our steel tables. Of course, these dimensions exactly of these dimensions maybe or may not be available. But the rolled steel channel sections are available. They are having some standard dimensions notations, and their moment the centroid values always generally it is refer with respect to this side, from this side only, back of your, this is called as back of your channel section, back side, back to back of channel section. This is toe side, this is the back side. Okay, so this is from here it is measured, that's why it is generally reference axis also we will take from the back only. Okay, that is the reason. Otherwise you can take, why not, if anyone questions that why not sir we can take it like this, means you can take like this also. But what happens if you take like this, so this will become like a negative side of your x-axis. Again you need to take the minus, this is minus x1 minus x3 minus x2 minus x3, so it is unnecessary confusion. Okay, that's why it is better not to take like that. Okay, so right, so now let us calculate the x1 x2 x3 from the reference axis AB. For the first figure, what is the x1? X1 is nothing but centroid of centroidal yy axis of the figure 1 from the AB, reference axis AB. From this, where centroid of axis of this lies? It lies somewhere at exactly middle. So middle means somewhere here. Okay, at what distance middle means? It is the total width is 100, so middle means 50. So it lies at a distance of 50. Similarly, this also it is because it is both are similar, same size, so it will also 50. Okay, so this dimension also 50. But what about this one? So x1, this is nothing but x1, and this is nothing but x3. And what about x2? X2 is nothing but from here to here, somewhere here. So x3, how much it is? Again, half of the dimension, because it is a rectangle where it lies center, middle point, midpoint. Midpoint is nothing but 20 by 2 means 10. So x3 is equal to 10. X1 is equal to 50, x3 is equal to also 50, x3 is equal to 10. Now you got the three values, x1, x2, x3, a1, a2, a3. Now calculate the x bar, right? Now dividing the three into three rectangles, ox or y are the reference axis. Okay, so of course ox is not required because it is already y bar is directly known to you, so we may not require that one, right? So x1 is equal to 50 by 2. Similarly, x2 is equal to 20 by 2, 10. How we calculated already known to you. And similarly, x3 is equal to 100 by 2. Right? So x1 and x3 are same. x2 equal to 10. Right? Now you got the values. This y1, y2, y3 is not required. Okay, don't get confused with y1, y2, y3 has done, because already y bar is, because it is symmetric about x-axis, y bar is not required. Directly we can calculate the y bar is equal to half of the distance, 180 by 2. Already we have calculated. That's not required. Now x bar is equal to how much? A1 into x1 plus a2 into x2 plus a3 into x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. So if you substitute all the values, calculate it, you will get the x bar is equal to 33.53 mm. Right? So 33.53 mm means this from here to this one. This distance is 33.33. 33.53 mm. Right? 33.53 mm from here to here. Right? Now you got it. Next, so this with this your centroid calculations are over, because it is checking purpose. He has done this y bar calculation. What is that? How much? What I have directly calculated 180 by 2, 190 mm. Already we are calculating. Is it same? You will get the same answer. Otherwise, you somewhere something mistaken you are this one. Okay, so that's why it is directly we can, whatever you say it is, we can calculate from OX, from OY. OY, it's not OY, it's the AB. Reference axis in this case we are taking it as the AB. Okay, one diagram it is taken as the AB, one diagram it is OX and OY it is there. So some small mistakes are there. So please uh, uh, be careful about this reference axis. Okay. So in full screen mode, I cannot modify these values also, right? Now let us calculate the moment of inertia. Very important part of this. Okay, second part. So moment of inertia about xx is equal to summation of moment of inertia of figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. That is nothing but it is summation symbol. Ixx1, IA plus Ix2 plus Ixx3. Right. So now this is again, if you see the figure, yeah, if this is the figure. Now in this one, let us calculate the same that h also. Okay, h1, h2, h3. Right. So in this one, how to calculate the h1, h2, h3? So for this one, so your figure is this one. The y axis you got at 33.5. This one is equal to 90 mm. That one you got it already. Right. Now calculate the moment of inertia about its centroidal axis, right, of figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. So first coming to the figure 1. So this centroidal x-axis, this is centroidal x-axis of figure 1, right? So this is, let us calculate the x1 and x1. Means centroidal x-axis of the figure 1, that is nothing but x1 is nothing but, right? So if that is the case, this one, and similarly x2 x2 means centroidal axis of the figure 2. Of course this is because it is symmetric about the x-axis. This x2 x2 and the centroidal axis of the entire figure will coincide. Okay, it will be same. Of course my diagram is little bit of gone away from here, but it will both will coincide. And similarly this is figure 3, x3 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 is nothing but moment of centroidal x-axis of the figure 3, that is nothing but, okay. So this one, now what we need, so this is the x-axis here, we want moment of inertia about this axis. So directly if you substitute bdq by 12, you will get moment of inertia about this axis. If you directly substitute moment of inertia about its centroidal axis, nothing but bdq, but we don't want that one, we want about this axis. About this axis means again we have to apply the parallel axis theorem, just like I section we have done. Okay. For about the to calculate what is the parallel axis theorem? Parallel axis theorem is equal to moment of inertia of figure 1 about its centroidal axis, that is nothing but bdq by 12 plus ah square. So a is nothing but the area of the section and h square is nothing but distance between its centroidal axis, means figure 1 centroidal axis to the centroidal axis of the entire section, that is nothing but xx. Right? How much it is? How to calculate this h1? So h1 is equal to, very simple, in this one. So total from here to its centroid is 90. And if you want this one, so this will be 20 by 2 because this depth is 20. This is 10. 90 minus 10 is nothing but 80. H1 is equal to 80 mm. Right? Now you got the H1. Right? Now what is the moment of inertia about this section? So first Ixx1 is equal to BD cube by 12. BD cube means 100 into 20 cube by 12 plus area. Area is how much? 100 into 2000. Okay, 2000 into h. H is how much? 80. 80 square. That's all. This is the moment of inertia about the section, about the of the section 1 about x axis. Okay, of this section of this section 1, not section 1. It is a figure 1. Okay, so it is figure 1 about the x axis. Similarly, plus figure 2. To get the figure 2, we need x1, h1, h2. So how to calculate h2? Already we said that while drawing this one x2. X2 is the centroidal x-axis of the figure 2, and that will coincides with the x axis. Right? Whether coincides or not, let us decide. Let us calculate. So if we calculate the centroidal distance of this figure 2 is nothing but from the here. If we calculate how much? 20 plus what is the height? Height is nothing but 140. 140 by 2 is nothing but 70. 70 plus 20, 90. From here it is the distance is 90, right? And what is the centroidal distance? Y bar 90. Means both are equal distance. Equal distance is same one. They are coinciding with each other. Okay. The centroidal x-axis of the figure 2 and centroidal axis of the x-axis of the entire section coinciding, because this is both 90 equal to 90. Means if you substitute, even if you calculate h becomes 0. Right? So moment of inertia of the figure 2 is nothing but just it is nothing bdq by 12. That is nothing but 20 into 140 cube, right? 140 cube by 12. Right, this is figure 2, IX62. Next, similarly, third one, right? Third one is just like, because it is symmetrical, so here also we will get the same. H1 is equal to 80 only. Whether we get it or not, let us see. So from here to here, it is how much distance? Already it is 90, means because it is symmetric section. So whatever the section symmetric XX here also this distance also will be 90 only, right? This is also 90 plus 90, 180. So that's why we got it. Okay, so 90 only. So from here to here means this is centroidal XX, means again at a distance of half of the depth, that is 20 by 2, right? Now we need this one. How much it is? Again 90 minus 10, again 80 mm, just like H1. H1 equal to H3 because it is symmetric. So it is, that's why it is just, it is, instead of writing again here, I am multiplying with the this one with the 2. Okay, 2 times, because this one is same, right? Now it is nothing but IXX of the total figure, right? Done. That's how we have to calculate the IXX, right? Now coming to the IYY, right? So this is, let us see IXX. Yeah, see this one, BD cube by 12, 10 in 100 into 20 cube by 12 plus 2000 into 90 minus 10 square, means 80 square. That's what we have written there. Second one, 20 into 140 cube by 12 plus 2800 into 90 minus 90, because that's what it is. 90 minus 90 means 0. Okay, this term becomes 0. What we have written? We have written only this one. Is it right? Now right. Okay. Next, third one, of course, we are multiplied with the same thing into 2 also. It is nothing wrong doing that twice here. Okay, instead of writing entire sentence again here, so you can do like this also. Even if you write like this, nothing wrong. But instead of wasting time, I am doing some smart part. That's all. 100 into 20 cube by 12. It's the same thing. Again, 170 minus 70 means he has taken this 170 means from the bottom to the top. Okay. Third figure centroidal distance from the reference axis OX. OX is nothing but bottommost point. From there to top, total entire this total depth is 180. 180 minus top one centroidal 110 minus, if you minus it, you will get the 170. Okay, 170 minus its centroidal axis, section centroidal axis 90. Right? So that is why how much you get? Again, you will get the 90, and means 170 minus 80 means 80. Here also you get 80. Okay, so 80 here also it is. If you calculate this one, you will get 80. Right? Both are one and same. If you method this method or this method, both will be same. Right? Like that, we have to calculate the axis. So if you calculate everything, substitute it, and you will get the 31.5. Similarly, y axis. So y axis moment of inertia. Now let us, for this one again, I need to go to the figure again. Yeah. So for the figure, I will remove it everything. So unnecessarily. So I need this one. So later I will keep it here. So I need that one. So I will keep that one. So I will remove this all x axis, and we need only y axis. That's all. I don't need x. Okay. So like this. This is a figure. Right. Now let us calculate the y power. Oh, sorry, moment of inertia about the y axis. So for this one, so y means this is the y axis about which we need the moment of inertia. So for this case, first figure 1, if we take the figure 1, where the centroid of the figure 1 lies, centroidal y axis at a distance of somewhere here at 50 mm. So this one is y axis 33.53, means we need where the centroid of this figure lies 50, means somewhere beyond this point. Okay, so something away from this one. So that is nothing but, I will just a minute, I will erase it. I will add a new one. Okay, so that's nothing but this one. So its centroidal s means this is its centroidal x y1 y1. Okay, centroidal axis of the figure 1 1, centroidal y axis of the figure 1. So what is the distance from here to here? So where it lies, because it is 100 mm, it's a rectangle. Where it's lies, it's nice. It's nothing but its distance is 50. Right, its distance is 50. But right now it is okay. So first, what is it? Moment of inertia of the first figure. It's nothing but Iyy is equal to moment of inertia of the first figure about this one is equal to Iyy1 plus Iyy2 plus Iyy3. Okay, Iyy means this moment of inertia about this axis plus this moment of inertia about this axis plus this moment of inertia about this axis. Okay, that's what we have to do, right? For that one, what is the moment centroidal axis here? So, but we want the moment of inertia about this axis. So means it is away from this. Again, it is they are not coinciding means again we have to apply the parallel axis theorem. So what is the parallel axis theorem? So parallel axis theorem is the moment of inertia of the section about this its centroidal axis is nothing but BD cubed by 12. So what is the B? B is nothing but in this case it is not B becomes D, D becomes B. Nothing but 100 cube 20 into 100 cube, right? Divided by 12. This is nothing but about its centroidal axis, about this axis. But we need not about this axis, we need about this axis means plus AH square. Plus AH square is nothing but area is nothing but 2000 into H is nothing but this distance between the centroidal axis of the figure considered and centroidal axis of the entire section. Okay, or about the reference axis, whatever it is. Okay, so this distance between these two lines, how much it is? Again, it's nothing but how much it is. Here to here is 50, but here to here is from here to here is 33.53. So what about this one? 50 minus 33.33, right? So 50 minus 33.53 means nothing but 16.47. Okay, 16.47 square. Okay. So 16.47. This time I will check the calculation. 50 minus 33. 16.47, right? So 16.47 square, right? Now it is moment of inertia of this section, okay, about this y axis, right? This is for the figure 1, right? Similarly, if we take the figure 3, so it will also same because it is like whatever section it is, both are same size and symmetric, so both are will be same size. That's why again instead of doing again the same thing, everything repeating again, so I am just multiplying with the 2. Okay, that's what you can do it. Just you multiply with the 2. Okay, figure 3. Figure this is includes figure 1 plus figure 3. That's what two figures are there. Two are there. That's what I am multiplying with the 2. Now take the figure 3, figure 2. Figure 2 is nothing but again it is what is the B? Again moment of inertia centroidal y-axis means its centroidal axis lies here, but where the section centroid lies, this one. So again, so we have to apply the parallel axis theorem. For that one, we need the distance between these two axes. Y axis of the figure considered, it is y2 y2, and this is entire section y axis y axis, right? For that one, what is the parallel axis theorem? Is again moment of inertia about this axis of this figure, that is nothing but BD cube. So BD cube 12 by means it is a how much it is 20 into 140 cube, 20 into 140 cube. Okay, 20 into 140 cube divided by 12. Okay, plus area is nothing but 2800 into h square. H is nothing but, now let us see the h. H is from here to here 33.53. From here to here it's 33.53. But I want only from here to here. Means this whatever if you know this distance, you can calculate that this distance, right? So if what is it, we know this distance as equal to 20 by 2 because the rectangle where centroid lies. 20 by 2 means this is 10. This is 10 and here to here it is 33.53. How much this one? 33.53 minus 10. It's nothing but 23.53. 23.53. So it's nothing but 23.53 square. 23.53 square. That's all. Three figures is over. So this is first figure and third figure. This is the second one. That's all. It's over. Moment of inertia of the Iyy is also over. So like that you have to calculate the y1, I mean h1, h2, right? So let us see. This is Ixx, now Iyy, right? See this one, 20 into 100 cube by 12 plus 2000 into 50 minus 33.53. That is nothing but how much it is 16.47. We will get Similarly, 140 minus 140 into 20 cube into 12. What I made here? I written something wrong here. No. Yeah, I wrote it something wrong here. Please be careful about this one. This what I made it wrong. Okay. I'll repeat. I will write again. So this one is 140 into, repeat it, 140 into 20 cube. That is only wrong I have made, divided by 12. That's okay. Okay, 140 into 20 cube by 12. That's what we have to write. dB cube by 12. That's what is 140 into 20 cube by 12 plus 2800 into 33.53 minus 10. Similarly, figure 3, 55. It's the same thing. Same as. That's why I put it as 2 into 2. Right? Into 2, if you substitute, that will be very easy to calculate. Right? So I wave is equal to 6.061 into 10 to the power 6 mm to the power 4. Like that, you have to calculate the moment of inertia for the channel sections. Okay. So what we have done? So first you see that it is symmetric about any axis is there. So if it is symmetric about any axis there, then its centroid calculation will be becomes easy because centroid lies on the axis of symmetry. That is the property of axis of symmetry, right? So once it is calculate the centroidal axis, then calculate the moment of inertia, right? Right. Let us go to the next topic. Right. So now let us see this one. So sections of unsymmetric about both axes. Sometimes I have discussed it just now itself. So we have taken a C section, angles, sorry, channel section that is symmetric about any one axis. If it is any sections, there is a possibility some of the sections are there which will be unsymmetric about the both axes, like angle section. Okay, while centroid topic itself, we have discussed that the angle sections are always unsymmetric about the both axes. Jet sections, that is also unsymmetric about it both axes, right? And and other one is channel section with unequal flanges. That's what I just now discussed it. Right? These are the examples for the sections unsymmetric about the both axes. Right? So nothing, no, actually, as far as moment of inertia is concerned, so there is not much difference. Additional processes there required for the calculation of moment of inertia. Only thing is that centroid calculation becomes a little bit of lengthier. Otherwise, so moment of calculation will be almost, it is not a big issue. Okay, as far as unsymmetric about both axes or symmetric about any one axis, it will be almost more or less it will be same. Okay, same effort is required. Whereas in case of centroid calculation, little bit lengthy because in this case, it is unsymmetric about both axes. We need to calculate centroid x bar as well as y bar. That will be a little bit of lengthy also. That is only the thing. Right. Now let us see that unsymmetric channel section. This is K should be taken while dividing the section into regular figures, and dimension should be checked. Means sometimes if it is this dimension is given here to here, while dividing it, if you divide it like this, so you have to see that this flange is here to here. You have to read dimension it. Okay, you have to redimension it. Otherwise, if you take directly 180, 180, so there is a very possibility that mistake is there. Right? Moment of inertia of angle sections. So how to calculate the moment of, so one more thing I want to say that. So in this one, yeah. So sections unsymmetric about both axes means in this one additional effort required is only calculation of centroids. Okay. So remaining is not an issue. Only calculation of centroids will be little bit of difficult, lengthier. Okay. Otherwise everything is same. So already we discussed about the unsymmetry of the both axes in case of centroids, how to calculate centroids for the when it is unsymmetric about both axes. So we have already discussed everything, right? And it is Z sections also we have calculated centroids. So taking the reference axis from the leftmost part, okay, so that the entire section your Z section falls in the first category, first quadrant, so that all the x values are positive values. So like that we are divided the section, and like that we are dividing the section, we are calculated the centroids, Okay, so all things we have done. Similarly, angle sections also L sections we call it as. Okay, so that may be again angle section may be equal angle sections or and unequal angle sections. Different types of angle sections are there, equal and unequal. So both will be possibilities there. So in that case, how to calculate the centroids is nothing but again take reference axis either from the bottom or top or left side, leftmost side again, right? So that everything falls in first quadrant again, so that all the x values are positive, y values are positive, right? So like that we are divided section and we are calculated centroids. We are discussed how to calculate centroids in centroids topics. And channel section, very just now we have seen that channel section with equal flanges. Okay, in case of if it is flanges are unequal, as already explained to you just now. So unequal means it is angle sections nothing but you are sorry, angle sections are nothing but this one, right? This angle sections may be equal, and equal angle sections are unequal. Equal angle means both these dimensions are same, then they are called equal angles. Let us say this is 100. This is nothing but equal angle. For example, if it is one is more, one is less, then that is called as the unequal angle. Let us say this is 120 is there, for example. Okay, 120 by 100 by thickness. Thickness is referred as, let us say, 10 mm or 8 mm or 6 mm. Okay, like this. But thickness will be same for the both legs. Okay, of longer leg as well as shorter leg. Both legs, the thickness will be same. Only thing is that length will be different. Okay, this may be one. If it is they are unequal and called unequal length. If it is both 100 like 90 90 80 80 like this, then that is called as a equal angles. Right, for that one where centroid lies, this is a classical example of for in a section where it is centroid lies outside the section, outside the area. Okay, the centroid lies here. Okay, so the centroid lies means it is unsymmetric about both axes. So this is xx and yy. This is one of the example for the for the section which is having centroids outside the area. This is the area, actual area. Our area is this one. Okay, so but if you calculate centroid, it is falling outside. As we discussed in the during that topic itself of centroid, the centroid of the section can be within the area or outside the area of the section. Whereas center of gravity is not like that. Center of gravity always passes through the section. Okay, it cannot be outside, but centroids can be outside. Okay, can be outside. It always need not be. It can be outside. It can be within the area. But whereas the center of gravity always within the area in that part of the parts. That's the difference. One of the difference between center of gravity and centroid. Right? And similarly, at Z sections, for the Z section also, just now I said that. So if this Z section is like this, for example, okay. So take the reference axis as the leftmost part and bottommost one, so that this entire part forms in the first quadrant, so that x and my y values will be positive. So that is only the reason. Otherwise, even if you not like that, if you take the reference axis, this one also you can take it, but care should be taken. You have to be very much careful that if you take beyond this x-axis, beyond this length, if say this side length, you have to take it as minus, and your left right side of your section x-axis value shall be taken as positive. That care you have to take. Otherwise, nothing wrong in taking like this. Means, for example, if it is z section is like this, if you take like this, it is all values are x1 means this one x. Let us say this centroid is let us say divided into like this. So this one, the centroid is, let's say this one. So this n becomes x1, and this one becomes x2, right? And this one becomes x3. All three will be positive if it is reference axis this one, right? If you take the reference axis as this one, so this or this, whatever it is, you can take. If you take this one as a reference axis, what happens? This centroidal distance for this one you have to take it as a minus, and this one as positive, this one as positive. That you have to consider. Minus sign you consider. Otherwise, remaining everything is same. Okay, so not an issue at all. No additional effort or nothing wrong in the revision. You will get the same answer if you do it correctly. Okay. Next, channel section with unequal flanges. So just now we are discussed about channel sections. Unequal means, let us say we are calculated a section moment of inertia for a equal flanges. Okay, so this is nothing but unequal flanges. This is size is less and this one is more. This is nothing but unequal. So this figure is unsymmetrical over the x-axis, unsymmetrical over the y-axis. There is nothing but channel section with unequal flanges. These are the some of the examples for the unsymmetric about the both axes. Okay, so all calculation of moment of inertia effort required will be more or less it is same whether it is unsymmetrical or symmetrical about both axes. Little bit some cases it may be less, but in this one only thing is that additional effort required to is calculate you have to calculate centroids for the both cases, both x bar and as well as y bar. If it is a symmetric about any axis, the centroid calculation becomes easy at least for one axis. Okay, along the one direction. That is only the reason. Right. So this is that section. This is channel section. Care should be taken while dividing the sections into regular figures and the dimension should be checked. So that's nothing but, so if at all some cases, most of the cases, this channel section, let us say you are given it as like this. Okay, let us take it as a 100 mm. Okay, 100 mm from here to here, top to bottom. Right now it is, let us say this one is another 100 mm, for example, and this one you number it as, so you number it as, let us say 60 mm, for example, and this one you take it as a 20, and this one you consider it as 20, and this one you consider as a 20. Okay, these were the dimensions. What is this sentence? If you are for a calculation of centroids, we have to divide this section into different regular figures. Okay, like this. I have divided like this. Let us say this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. As per my convenient, I have designed it. Okay, sorry, I have divided it. Of course, this is always I am divided like this. Don't think that always it has to be divided like this also. If you want, you can, instead of this one, you can divide like this also. Nothing wrong. So I can divide like this also. Okay, so that is choice is left with the who is doing this. Like this also you can divide it. Nothing wrong. You can divide in any way. Right? So while dividing it, what is the care taken is nothing but if I am divided like this. Okay, for example, I am divided like this. Okay, so it is I have divided like this. Okay, so like this I have divided. Now what is this figure 3 size? It is reduced here. Okay, some 20 is gone to 20 to figure 2, taken to 20. Now what is the size of this one? Reduced. How much it is? 100 minus 20. This means this is becoming 80. Similarly, this is becoming how much? 60 minus 20. It is becoming only 40. Reduced. Okay. So after dividing into sections, regular figures, dimension should be checked. Dimension should be recalculated. Okay. If requires. Always may not be requires. But if requires, you have to renumber it. Okay. Rewrite the dimensions like this. Right. For example, if you are divided like, if not like this. Okay. So if not like this, let us say it is if our section 3 is, this section 1 is divided like this. Okay, this width will be 60 only. There is no issue for the figure 1. But coming to the figure 2, this dimension is, what is the dimension? Total 100 is from here to here, 100 is. Right? But I want only up to this point. Okay, similarly, this one up to this point. Right? So in that case, what you have to do? So this will be no change. Right? So this will be changed. The web will be changed. So what you have to do? You have to recalculate. How much? It in this case, it is 100 minus 20 here, 20 here, 40 means it is totally 60. The size is 60 by 20, 20 by 60. That's what it is saying, that dimension should be checked and recalculated if requires. Right? So like that, we have to, care shall be taken in calculating the unsymmetrical sections. The moment of inertia of angle sections. Angle sections or L sections are designed by total depth into total width into total thickness. Okay. And if the depth and width are equal, it is called equal angle section, otherwise unequal angle section. For example, for equal angle section, x bar equal to y bar. That is one more advantage for equal angles. Ixx is equal to Iyy, because one will be same as other one, right? So if it is like that case, then it will become some advantage the other if it is an equal angle section. Okay, if we calculate Ixx, that will be equal to Iyy. No need to calculate the Iyy again. Okay, no effort is required. Just you write that because it is a equal angle section. So Ixx is equal to Iyy or x bar equal to y bar for equal angle. For unequal section, you have to calculate the for the, both Ixx, x bar and y bar, as well as Ixx and Iyy. Okay, like this you have to calculate the moment of inertias. In next class, let us discuss about the how to calculate the moment of inertias of the angle sections. Right? Thank you.